Okay, welcome to part 2. What we're going to do now is we're going to make the anvil holder and the piston holder. So let's go ahead and make a new part. Standard inch IPT. Create. So now we're in the new part field. I'm going to make a sketch. And we'll sketch on the plane here. Now, these two holders are going to be holding round objects. So I'm just going to center everything on the plane because that way later on we could use the planes for constraining. Let's start here, green dot, I'm going to make a 1-inch circle. So dynamic input, I type 1, enter, there's my 1-inch circle. Now I'm going to make a 2-inch circle, this is going to be the outside. So I go 2, enter, like so. So I've got my circle there, I'll use my rectangle tool, click on that intersection and that intersection. Oops. Try that again. There we go. So I've got it lining up there. I've got it lining up there. I could have used a 3-point for this, but didn't. And we'll make this 1.5. Sorry. That should be 2, tab 1.5. So we've got a basic little cube there. From here, we're going to use the trim tool. Trim that out. Hit the escape key to leave the command, and we'll click on this and delete that line. So we're left with just this profile. Finish sketch, and now let's extrude it. So I click extrude. 1 inch is selected by default, that's fine. Now I could make it bigger, smaller. Let's just leave that at 1. And there we go, there's the basic part for the anvil holder, the one at the end. Now, the anvil holder, has 2 holes that match the 2 holes we drew on the base. So let's turn this around to the bottom, create a new sketch on there. There we go. And we want to use the point tool again. So I'm looking for my center point. You can see the green dot there is marking center. I'm going to move over, click, and click. Now let's add some dimensions to that. Well, we know these are going to be 1 inch apart. And this has to be centered, so we'll go 0.5, and there's our centered holes. We know that it's centered this way because we use that point, but just to check we can click on there and see, okay, it's 0.5. Escape and finish sketch. So there's my 2 holes. Now I can take those 2 holes, I'm going to use my hole command again. You can see that it's selected them because it's the only holes available. And I'll turn my termination to distance. And we've got 1 inch depth there. And we're going to add a threaded hole. So over here, we've got the thread. Click on that. And it's going to come up to a whole other section here. You want to make sure you're using 1/4 inch, 1/4 20 UNC. What that means is the outside diameter of the thread is a 1/4 inch. I'm not quite sure what the inside diameter is, but the outside diameter, the high points on the thread, a 1/4 inch. And that there's going to be 20 threads per inch. This is a standard imperial thread. You could also have a 1/4 28 UNF, and those would be our 2 1/4 inches. But we're going to use a 1/4 20. I click OK, and you can see we've got the 2 holes threaded. So from here, let's change the color again, because I like to do that. Orange, red. There we go. So we've got a nice red part. And let's save this. So this is the anvil holder. There we go. Save. Now let's go save again. We've done this in the past when we did the tire and the wheel project. Oops, right, let's go. Save as. And now let's call this the piston holder. So piston holder, save. So now I've got 2 identical files named the same thing. But let's just go back and modify this. So I click the plus beside extrusion 1, right click, and we can go edit feature. Guess I didn't have to click the plus. And we want to make this 3 inches. So I can just drag it out. I could just type 3 in the box, but where's the fun in that? 3 inches, click the check mark. Now we're longer like the piston holder. Now we'll look at the bottom again. We've only got one set of holes, but the center of our base has two sets of holes. Click the plus here, right click, edit sketch, and we're going to add 2 more points. Let's make sure they're one there. A little hard to see those points into this color. Let's change the color now while there we go. That's not right. Oh, well, let's change the color inside the sketch. Okay, that's fine. So let's add some general dimensions from here to there. We'll drag that out. So we've got 1.565, and this should just be 1.5. Okay, we can add some constraints. So let's go horizontal between there and there. That's good. Horizontal between there and there. That brought that one down. And we can go vertical between there and there. That's good. And let's just add another dimension on here. Now, we know that this is 1.5 apart, and this whole part's 3. So in here, we should probably go 0.75, and that'll center up those nicely. Finish sketch. Now those moved, but we still don't have the other 2 holes. So I'm going to right click on hole and go edit feature. Just move that to the side. And I'm going to select my other 2 holes and hit OK. And now all 4 of them are selected. Now I can come up here and I can change my color, so we have a different color for the part. Let's go smooth orange. There we go. And we'll save this again because this is already saved as the piston holder. And there's those 2 parts.